hopefully sooner rather than later. Now we got to talk a little of the negative of what went on here, because the Suns, 4 straight, and 7 of their last 8 have been losses. And Chandler, you had a front row seat to whatever that is last night. We've been saying we sort of have given up, but what did you see?
It's still really confusing. First of all, they just don't defend, number one. They have glaring holes defensively, which doesn't make sense because they have a versatile lineup where they can switch 1 through 5. They have the personnel to be a solid defensive team. They turn the ball over. They don't get back in transition. They give up way too many easy buckets. Even their offense gets so stagnant. KD last night they'll go off the block post up. He'll shoot right over a smaller defender. The next play down, they'll get a hoisted 3 from Grayson Allen, a turnover from Royce O'Neal, a forced shot from, they go away from what works, and this happened so many times last night where it's very confusing, man, and it's hard not to start giving up on this team.
It ain't confusing.
But they don't defend, they turn the ball over, and their offense doesn't flow, and they seem angry. Like last night there was a play where there was a loose ball and Bud kind of jumped KD, and the next 3 possessions KD is just chirping at Bud while the game is going on. Like it seems like this is the beginning of the end, and it doesn't look good. And as good as they could be on paper, man, it's just they're a mess.
It makes all the KD going to be moved in the off-season talk start to get a little louder, I would imagine, Lou. It's weird to see what you guys saw.
He's gone.
Like at this point, we're beating a dead horse. They're just not a good basketball team.
Fair enough.
They obviously they're going to make some changes this summer. That's going to start with Kevin Durant being in the last leg of his career. He's going to want to win. He's going to want to compete for a championship, or at least play the game in peace somewhere that he wants to be, where he's wanted, and he can have an opportunity to win basketball games and go out on a high horse. But right now, this ain't it for the Phoenix Suns. Losers of the last eight of 9, there's not a switch that they're going to turn on. Like, we keep talking about the Phoenix Suns because of the talent that they have on their group. Like, they have a roster that you would think would be at the top of the Western Conference, and they just fell short of expectation.
There's a moment in the game, I love these moments, but KD and Chris Paul, that's 2 people you want to see exchanging words in a heated moment. They both get texts for this moment, and KD said it was just CP trying to get in his head. That's what he does. Why can't this just be allowed to be?
By the way, this continued and continued right at the end of the first half too. Kind of CP drove baseline, had a dime to I think Sohan for a 3, and just started chirping to him again. So I don't know if this is anything personal, if this is just part of the competitive nature. Both these guys go out, they compete really hard, but it seemed like this was a little extra. It seemed like this was nonstop.
But we like that. Don't we complain about everybody's buddy?
This is great for the games. This is great for the create a rivalry.
They weren't going to fight. It was just words.
Yeah, I love it. CP is always going to poke the bear. He's always going to get under people's skin. And KD is another one. KD is another guy that likes to talk trash. But again, if this doesn't go too far, I love the fact that these guys are being competitive, chirping, and talking, especially in the environment. We're at the Moody Center. This is where KD played basketball. This is a fan base that doesn't usually get a chance to see NBA basketball up close and personal. So this was good to see for the fans.
There were some more games. There were a lot of games, actually, last
Well, you know
night.
what's crazy? Before we move on, I feel like I thought it was going to be like a Kevin Durant home game. No doubt about it. It was a Spurs home game last night.
Yeah.
Nobody. I thought
we're an hour and a half.
I know, but this is Kevin Durant's back at UT, and everyone was a Spurs fan.
Kids, this is what happens when you don't read the memo of why we're doing something, is that you think
I
that.
just figured KD would got a
thought we
little
were
bit
going
more
to a homecoming
love. I thought he was going to get a little more love.
Did he get any love?
Not really,
Well,
honestly.
You know why, though? Think of how long ago it was. I bet everyone here is like a young Spurs
These kids
fan.
here never even watched him in college.
No, because I did a thing yesterday, and we're like, how many people here are Spurs fans? How many are Suns fans? And there was all Spurs fans.
Yeah.
We're an hour and a half, not even. A lot of games. Clippers-Bucks was another one that went down last night. The Bucks rally in the